Dean, how are the guys coming along, getting ready to head to Tasmania for Game 2?
Yeah, rest has been important for this group right now and let their bodies recover. Thought we had a good review the other day and dug into a little bit more of offensive review today. And I think when you get through that semi-final series, it was just about the two or three things offensively, defensively that you can tweak a little bit and make those slight adjustments and trying to get ready for the adjustments that they'll make. And yeah, we're in good health and feeling pretty sharp.
That's, are you ready for whatever reaction you might get from the locals there? It's been a big week in Tassie. They've had the AFL side, all the different rah-rah from that.
Yeah. Again, the semi-final series in Illawarra was an amazing atmosphere on the road, and I think we spoke to a few people about different crowds around AFL and Port Adelaide in 2020 against Richmond, I think, and just how they embraced the opportunity to try and quieten the crowd up at different points in the game by your play, and embrace the noise and enjoy the atmosphere.
It's a bit hard for crowds to isolate a coach and give him a boo, but do you think you might get a bit of a reaction from the Lions the other week?
Yeah, I don't really know. I guess if they're focused on me, it's not on the team or something. But if they do, I hope they come up with something really witty.
Random one for you. I know that Roy's already spoken about the new team down in Tassie. Have you paid much attention to the reveal and everything this week by any chance?
With the AFL team?
Yeah, the AFL team.
Yeah, obviously it's seeing that membership number of, I know it was only $10, but just to see the interest in the team and see the colours and those type of things. Obviously, what the NBL has done is allowed the state to say we support professional sport, and obviously they're wanting a little bit more in that state. So good luck to them.
What do you make of the Guernsey?
I'm not sure. From what I understand, it's not going to be the one that they play in, but yeah, it's got all the features in there that are Tasmanian.
Dean, with this group on the court, LT, what sort of jump has he taken for you during the playoffs? I know it's been good all year, but it seems like he's found something.
Yeah, massive jump. Again, I've talked about the ability for us to want to have set plays for him, and that's been a jump. He's been more of a facilitator and a receiver at different points, and now he's created such an offensive package that you want to get him in switches, you want to get him attacking downhill. He's one of our leaders on the break right now. There's that area, but then I think there's just an overall toughness that he's built in his time here, and the demands of what we've asked of him defensively, and I think there's been a massive growth in that, and the connection and physicality that we preach a lot, I think he's really bought in and improved over the year.
Where was he at? What's he improved on since then in that area? What's sort of really been the jump?
Yeah, I think that to be an elite defender, he gets to watch what Shea and Delhi do. They're two of the best examples about guys when they get into a lockdown mode about what they can do. And we talked about him growing in his communication, and it's still not there yet. But we've seen the growth, and we've seen the guards hear his voice and be able to react in the appropriate way. And so toughness and communication are the two areas you'd say. But then again, there's the rim protection, and there's deflections, and there's so many other things. The ability to use his length and sit down and guard a big area on the floor.
Dean, how impressed were you with JLA and Ari in almost their bounce back after sort of an up and down series against Illawarra, going up against a solid front court in Magnate, who's in foul trouble, and Marcus, and coming out on top very clearly, I think.
Yeah, I think you might have spoken about our athleticism on the floor, and our length looked, pretty good, and obviously Magnate not being on the floor as much certainly, decreases that for them. But I said in the press conference, they subbed each other all night. It was and that they've got to a point to understand if they're starting to fade a little bit, that it's better that they take a little rest and trust the other guy. And so, I commented about those two after the semi-final series, the embrace and the hug that they gave each other about winning that series, and that relationship's just carried through even more to this grand final series so far, about their willingness to support each other and get things done. And so I'm sure Joe having that kind of game really boosts him, and Ari was still fantastic in that game. He missed a couple of things that he wanted to make, but his sprints, his ability to wall up, he was a part of getting 7 stops in a row where we could have broke the game open in the second quarter. So outstanding effort from both of them.
How important was the output from Kyle? Obviously giving Luke some rest, but it seemed like this was maybe his best two-way performance of the season.
Yeah, he went down. Probably his best game of the season was down in Tasmania, where he made 2 or 3 threes and had 13 points in 12 minutes or something like that. But I thought his rebounding, his ability to step off McVeigh at different times and tag a 5-man and impede his path to the rim. And then just great rebounding effort from him all night. Huge rebound that he kicks out for Delhi when it was a 7-point game that gets us a 3 ball, and positive from both those young foremen.
Delhi sort of played it down, but any concerns about his ankle or whatever he did in the fourth quarter there?
No, he'll be fine by game time, and he got through what we needed him to get through to today, and he'll just pick it up and make sure that he's perfect by game time.
You mentioned the talking about away crowds, talking about how did the guys receive the examples, and with the team that has so many guys with international leagues, did you have to go into soccer or something else instead of Port Adelaide?
No, I think it was obviously we've been working with Ben Crow a little bit, and that was his experience with Richmond and how they approached it and different things. But we didn't want to spend too much time on it. We have played well on the road all year. There's fantastic crowds in this league everywhere you go, and they're all going to give you something a little different. We just go in and really enjoy the atmosphere and enjoy the privilege of being part of a grand final.
Talk about those couple of Perth trips for Tassie, and that there might have been a little bit of fatigue that played into game 1. Did you notice that from your side of the fence, and do you think that it's going to be different on Friday night now that they've had that time to prepare? Yeah,
I think it's definitely be different. They attack the offensive glass as the best in the league, and I thought our commitment to box out and to hit first was really important to negate that. But I certainly believe there'll be another level of intensity in the way that they attack the glass, and 2 areas that we thought we were a lead in our pace and our ability to really push it, and our rebounding will certainly be 2 areas that they'll try and negate a little bit.